And we're back. So, as you know, I've been in this space for years. And if I'm being real, there were moments I thought I was crazy for believing in this entire XRP crypto thing. And that Ripple's long game was too quiet, too slow, too idealistic for crypto, or that it would take years to manifest. But today I watched something I never expected from the SEC, and it felt like everything I've been waiting for is finally here, or at least very close to being here. The SEC Chair Paul Atkins gave a speech yesterday, and it's on YouTube. Also, there's a copy of the transcript on the SEC website, and it was the launch of the Project Crypto. And this could be a moment Ripple, XRP, and a lot of other people have been waiting for. Paul Atkins, in his vision or speech, he mentioned a want for the US to be the crypto capital of the world. And this is echoing President Trump's desire as well. He also mentioned the need for a launch of Project Crypto, and included in this was a vision for super apps, tokenized securities, and less regulatory friction towards crypto as a whole. This isn't just another conference speech, in my opinion. It's the clearest vision yet of the US led digital financial system. And it reads like a roadmap Ripple's already been following for years. So I want to compare some of his speech and Ripple's current alignment. Mr. Atkins states, "We will lead," this is direct quotes, "We will lead, we will build, and we will ensure that the next chapter of financial innovation is written here in America." I think this is huge for many US based companies, especially that are leading the way, especially as Ripple is, with all of its regulatory clarity and this kind of thing. Another statement I found interesting that I wanted to pull from, he said, as a result, crypto markets pivoted away from offering crypto assets and deprived investors of the opportunity to use this technology to contribute to productive economic enterprises. The SEC's head in the sand posture, as well as the shoot first, ask questions later approach, are days of the past. And we know with the old administration, this was how regulation was handled as far as crypto. And now it looks like we have an entire new way that they will be embracing crypto technology and this new technology that Ripple is waiting for clarity for. The president of the United States also stated that he wants the entire world to be running on the backbone of American technology. This is the direct idea of what Ripple stands to do. It wants to be the underbelly of moving money cross border instantaneously. I'm not sure if they talk together or it's just a coincidence, but I think it really is aligned together, these ideas. Ripple's U.S. regulatory push, including the bit license acquisition, global expansion, and building regulatory bridges instead of fighting against them, positions them in a very unique way to take benefit of this open door that is happening. The idea that Ripple isn't just selling tokens, it's building core infrastructure for money to move like information, I think aligns so well with um, this new push that America is standing behind. Also, I want to point out that Ripple has built infrastructure, not hype. Ripple holds global licenses with regulators. The XRP Ledger supports tokenization, which was mentioned many times in the speech, stablecoins through the RLUSD, which we mentioned, and cross border payments, as well as real time settlements. Mr. Atkins also pointed out in the speech, and I kind of pulled out some of my favorite things. He said, um, well, before I get there, I just want to point out I do think it's really interesting. While other projects tried to bypass regulation, like we talked about yesterday with Binance and that kind of thing, Ripple built with compliance in mind. And now the game might finally be shifting in Ripple's favor. And this is what I'm hoping for. A major point that was continually tapped into also was the need and desire for tokenization. Throughout the entire speech, it was mentioning tokenization over and over again. And um, tokenization, if you don't remember, it's the availability to take a physical object or even data, but usually a physical object, and give it a digital footprint so it can move on the blockchain and be sold and bought, and its whereabouts can be known instantaneously. But tokenization was mentioned quite a bit. Um, and one other thing Mr. Atkins said was that, which I thought was really, really interesting. He said, from household names on Wall Street to unicorn tech companies in Silicon Valley, they are lined up out the doors in requests for tokenization availability. If this happens, Ripple and other companies are going to benefit hugely from this. So, with this call for innovation, where does Ripple sit? Where does XRP sit? And can it be used to usher in this call for American innovation into the next wave of finance? We know, and I keep going back to this, but we know Ripple and XRP is fast, it's cheap for settlements, it's trustless, it bridges global currencies. RLUSD as a stablecoin is used as a settlement layer, and Ripple and XRP have already been tested by governments and banks all over the world. If America opens the door, Ripple is ready to walk through it. This isn't just speculative hopium anymore. This is infrastructure that's been ready for years, finally getting regulatory green lit to thrive. So, this entire time, I've stayed because I believe in the tech, and I believe the tech matters. And I believe also that it's not about price action, it's about long term vision. And I think this is what's finally coming into focus. Mr. Atkins called for in his speech, as well as, excuse me, he called for in his speech for the U.S. to be the new crypto capital of the world. The intention and implementation of Project Crypto, which is this entire speech, and the new wave that's coming, is the first of its kind of any country in the world. And even him calling forward something he referred to as a super app, which he talked about the availability for companies to become super apps, allowing tokenized securities, lending, even custody solutions, something XRP has been focused on the entire time with these acquisitions that we talked about, the applications to become a bank license. All these things I think line up perfectly. This isn't just validation for Ripple. It's a reminder that sometimes the boring bet, the regulated, the structured long haul bet, sometimes it might end in a win. And we'll see what happens, but I'm super, super excited by this speech. The fact that we even had this speech is incredible. The fact that people are talking about this is incredible. And I think there's still so much more to come: clarity, adoption, and maybe even pushback. But for the first time, the rules are being rewritten, and I believe it's being rewritten in a language that Ripple speaks. And if you've been holding like me, this is your sign. This is not financial advice, but it's the sign that we've been waiting for, that the tides are shifting. And this is also the time for America to either stand behind what it says or go back to the old school politics where promises are made but never followed through. If America sticks to this new commitment, XRP and Ripple are positioned just outside the door that I believe just swung open. Thank you for joining me again, and I'll see you tomorrow. Actually, I won't see you tomorrow. I'll see you next week. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later.